Hey guys, what's going on? We're doing another installment of Jesus 101. All right, we're going to be covering an area that doesn't get a lot of talk about, both here and in the Bible. And so we're not going to talk about it a lot. One of the things that you want to do when you're reading the Bible is not throw things in there that it doesn't say. You don't want to just be like, oh, well, here's a hole, let me fill it. If there's a hole there, that's all right. The Bible's about showing us who God is. It's not about answering every question we've ever had about everything. All right, but that being said, let's go. Jesus 101. So we're talking about the period between Jesus's birth and then all the cool, crazy miracles, disciple teaching stuff that you probably hear about in Sunday school or in sermon. And really, we get just a few things. All right, Jesus was born. A couple years later, the wise men show up. The reason we say a couple years later is because the word that the Greek use is like the Greek word for kind of like toddler or infant. And so even though that word doesn't have a specific like age characteristics, not like Ken, he was 2, you can still kind of ballpark that. All right, if I say I met 3 people today and one of them was a toddler, you're not going to assume that kid's 15. You're probably not even going to assume that he's 3 months either. You know, there is a general area of time. Okay, so we've got Jesus. He's born. Visits by the wise men, probably around the age of being a toddler, okay, or an infant. Then we get kind of this jump up to he's 12, and he gets taken to the temple, and you kind of get this God is my Father picture from Jesus, which is a really awesome thing. And then at the end of Luke chapter 2, we get one verse, Luke 2:52. I'm actually going to read it. It says, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man." And then we get a huge jump to his baptism, and based on historical records, we put that at about age 30. So, excuse me, we get this one verse that talks about Jesus's awkward years. He is teenage angst years. He is 20s and everybody looking at you like you're supposed to know what you're doing, but you probably still don't years. But the really cool thing in that verse is it says that he grew in favor with God and man. So that means that he got some weight underneath him. Jesus knows the struggle of what it means to get comfortable or the awkwardness of being around people and growing in the familiarity of that. It says he grew in stature with man. He understood what it was like to come into his own, to go through puberty, to try to become who his earthly body was. Also, this is he grew in God, which is a really crazy concept. How does God grow to be more in favor with the another part of the Trinity of God? I can't answer that. But I do know that means that God knows what it's like for me and you to try to grow in our relationship with God. That Jesus knows what that's like. He knows that struggle. He knows that walk. He knows the slower than you would like trajectory of that. And I find that to be extremely encouraging. Love you guys. Hope this helps.